Hello, I hope you are doing great. Today I'm going to create 5 shaker cards with the Spellbinders June card kit. Believe it or not, it's the first time ever that I'm using a card kit, so I was quite excited to explore and see what I can do with it. I can say for sure that you can create 15 to 20 A2 size cards using just the supplies from the kit. So let's have a look at what's inside the box and then we'll move on to the projects. So this is what the box looks like. Let's open it up and see what's inside. That's a big card kit, really. So first we have 10 card bases. They are A2 size and they are made out of linen texture white cardstock. And there are also 10 matching envelopes. Then we have 5 patterned paper sheets. They are single-sided and the colors are all different, but they are all summer themed. There is also a sheet of gold mirror cardstock and it's double-sided. Then there are 5 8.5 by 11 sheets of cardstock, all linen textured, and the colors are matching the patterned papers. This is the leaflet with some inspiration. Then we have chipboard foiled sentiments and double-sided adhesive and ribbons and clothespins in matching colors. Then we also have some printed die cuts. There are some sentiment strips too. And these are the stickers. In this bag there are printed acetate die cuts. I'm going to use those a lot. Some embellishments, more sentiment stickers, and there are pop dots, more embellishments, and the most important thing, a die set. So let's have a look at the dies. Here is the banner, the ribbon banner. Then we have 2 summer flowers and some leafy branches and more leaves. There is also a heart and teeny tiny clothespins. Now to the projects. I'm going to use red linen texture cardstock to create a top folding standard A2 size card base. I will mostly be using the supplies from the kit, but because I'm creating the shaker cards today, I will also need 1 oval and 1 circle die to cut out the windows. I will also be using 1 rectangle die to cut out a panel and this one from 5x7 Matin Basics set. You can actually trim a piece of paper to 3 1/8 to 5 1/8 inches, but I'm using a die just because I have it. You can find the link to this kit as well as to all the additional supplies on my blog as well as in the description. Now I'm placing the oval die onto the patterned panel and then I'm going to send it through the machine to create a window. Then I'm applying some double-sided adhesive on the wrong side of the panel and sticking down a piece of acetate, just as I normally do for shaker cards. Here I have already applied the mounting tape at the wrong side and now I am adding some red and pink sequins inside. Then I'm going to remove the liner and then I would like to share with you a trick on how I'm going to attach this panel right onto the card base without sticking an additional piece of paper. Use your marker to draw a rectangle 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches right on your grid mat. That will be the outline of your card. Then you place the panel where you want it on your card and then position your card base on top, aligning it with the outline on your grid mat. I'm so sorry I didn't draw a rectangle, but it will be much more convenient if you do. Now I'm placing the same oval die on top of the acetate die cut and I'm going to trim it to the size of the oval. I have sent it through the die cut machine and now I'm going to apply some double-sided tape that was included in the kit only behind the printed images, so that it will be invisible when I'm attaching it. What I'm planning to do is attaching this acetate die cut right on top of my shaker window. Those printed acetate pieces can create a really unique effect. They add a colorful image, but at the same time they are transparent and you can see all the sequins through them. Next I'm going to die cut the flowers and leaves. Those dies have some debossed details and there is a trick to make this pattern really stand out. You just have to place a piece of craft foam underneath your paper and send it through the die cutting machine. This way you'll get nice deep etching right away without the additional embossing. Then I'm also going to add some black ink in the center of the flower. I'm just applying it with my finger. I'm using black Soot Distress Oxide ink. Then I'm going to use my blending tool to go all over the edges of the flower. I will need 2 or 3 of these flowers plus a bunch of leaves. Now I'm going to trim the flowers and leaves and tuck them behind the floral panel. I'm going to arrange all the die cuts on the card, and once I'm happy with their placement, I'm going to use some liquid glue to attach them. The adhesive I'm using at the moment is Tacky glue by Scotch. It's quite quick drying and it also doesn't tend to clog the applicator. Then I am attaching 2 more leafy branches right below the oval as if they are hanging down from it. Then I'm going to adhere the red burlap bow. That was the part of the kit. And the pop dot was already attached to it. At this point I found out that there is actually a protective film attached to acetate prints, and I had to remove it. Without the film, the image has become even shinier and more vibrant. The last step is attaching a golden flower right in the center of the bow. I've die cut this flower out of gold cardstock included in the kit. And here is my first card finished. Don't worry, all the remaining cards will be much quicker because I'm creating them the similar way. For the card number 2, I'm going to use this denim and lace patterned paper. I'm placing the die at the bottom to have this lacy border on my panel, and this time I'm also going to use the circle window instead of the oval one. Just as for the previous card, when I have my panel die cut, I'm going to apply some double-sided tape all around the window at the wrong side. This time I'm going to use the acetate doily that was included in the kit, so I'm removing the film and I'm attaching it right in the center of the window. Then I'm going to apply some mounting tape and add silver sequins inside. To attach the panel onto the card base, again I'm going to use the grid mat, and that is the technique that I'm going to use for all 5 shaker cards today. It seems to work each time, and it will be even better if you go ahead and draw the rectangle with your marker. I have chosen this sentiment label to attach to the card, and I have decided to round the corners with the envelope punch board. I'm searching through the images to find the matching ones, and I have decided to use this blue and white heart as well as one of the floral images. I'm trimming the flower die cut to attach it behind the panel, just as I did for the previous card. I'm making sure it fits nicely, and then I'm attaching it with a double-sided tape. And by the way, this thin tape is just great for small and intricate images. To attach the label, I'm going to use the pop dots that are also included in the kit. These have a lot of dimension. You could leave the card as it is, but I have decided to add more embellishments, and I'm using some small golden flowers as well as the white leafy branches. They are all made with the dies from the kit. I'm also going to use the second half of the flower die cut. I'm trimming it into pieces and tucking it behind the label. And now the second card is finished. The next card is going to be blue and white. I have already created the base, and now I'm attaching the matching flowers on top of the window. Again, I'm removing the protective film, and all there is left to do now is to add some embellishments. You'll be surprised how quick and easy it is. I've die cut this banner out of gold, and it also has nice etched details. And I'm just going to add this sticker, and this one also has gold details. I have removed the second floor of the sticker, if I can say so, and that is to be able to attach this golden banner, and then I'm going to add the flowers back. The card is nearly finished. But to make it match the rest of the cards, I'm also going to attach some leafy branches behind the panel. Then I'm just going to attach the golden sentiment strip to the card, and it's finished. For the card number 4, I have created the shaker base exactly the same way, but this time it's landscape oriented. I'm going to use this gorgeous butterfly printed on acetate, but before I attach it to the card, I'm going to score it right in the center. I want the wings to be lifted above the surface. Then I'm applying some hot glue only to the body of the butterfly, and I'm attaching it in the center of the shaker window. Then again, I'm removing that protective film. For my sentiment, I'm going to use one of the foiled chipboard stickers. They are self-adhesive, so all I have to do is just to place it onto my card front and press it down. As the last finishing touch, I'm going to use the 2 feathers from the die cut set, and I'm attaching them with a double-sided tape. And that finishes the card number 4. The last card base is made the same way. I just used this banner die to create the shaker window, and the sequins are the ones from the set. I'm going to use the remaining chipboard sentiment, and as you can see, I have damaged it a little bit, but that's not a problem. I just have to apply some adhesive on there, and I'm sticking it on top of the card front. As you have already guessed, I'm making a holiday card, first one this year. I will use one of the large stars from this sentiment set to attach on top of the Christmas tree. Those little flowers with pointed petals work great as poinsettias, so I have attached some of those flowers as well as the leaves onto the border. I'm going to attach a couple of smaller stars onto the card front as well, and that finishes the last card for today. I can say there are still lots of supplies left for much more cards. Now let's have a look at all 5 projects that I've made today. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial till the end. I hope you are feeling inspired, not exhausted. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again really soon.